So today I'm talking about love. Yesterday, while I was editing and doing whatnot, I realized that so much about loving this channel, and the only real evidence is here. But I'd like to first go back and scold myself. I feel I had a goal last year to upload, I think, 20 videos, and we fell short. So I'll be starting with uploading 7 videos this week, different topics. I'm reading books and I'm watching movies. So whatever comes to my mind to discuss as the topic of the day, I'll just go on and just elaborate to the best of my knowledge. I realize that I speak so much about love. I claim to love everything I do. Now, how does that show, or how does what I do reflect that I love them or it? I, while I had time to my hands, I went about and I checked for the meaning of love. Cambridge definition of love: to like another adult very much and be romantically and sexually attracted to them, or to have strong feelings of liking a friend or person in your family. Now, on Google, you have another definition. Google: an intense emotion of affection, warmth, fondness, and regards towards a person or thing. A further slide down, I saw a webpage slashshare.net, and they divided love into 7 stages: falling in love, relationship building, enjoying each other's company, asserting independence, committing to life together, adapting to each other over time, potential deception later in the relationship. I think most of these definitions of love, aside the Google one, they streamline love to you loving a person. While I think you can fall in love with an occupation, you can fall in love with a thing, you can fall in love with a series of things. My definition of love is to like another thing very much, where it becomes an extension of yourself, or you see it as an extension of yourself. So you want to nurture it, you want to take care of it, you want to see it grow, and you want to do your best for it. And I try my best to live by it. Last year, I had like a bit of a rough part, and I tried my best to share my journey. I think I didn't do enough. Now we're doing 7 videos, and we are going to 7 videos back to back, 7 days. For the next 7 days, we'll have uploads, and every Tuesday, I'm committing myself to this channel. That's my show of love to what we are doing right now. Then back to the topic of the day, love. Back to my definition of love. I'd love to write that down. But a quick note, what I came up with: love is the ability to like another person or thing as much as oneself, extending care, sympathy, affection, growth into it as much as one can. That's a quick one from me. I believe that if you claim to love someone, I've seen 3 movies now. I have a list of 15 movies, as I stated earlier. I've seen Gattaca, I've seen Whiplash, and I've seen Rush. While I think Rush is the least on the list at the moment for me, Rush is a story of 2 cops studying the wood, trying to catch a drug lord. So they soak themselves into the wood. The guy cited that he has low self-esteem, and that's why he does what he does. But I kind of think for you to do something like that, you have to have passion for the game, you have to have passion for the work. In Gattaca, the guy fell in love with space, and because of the love for space, he was able to commit himself to that journey. I don't know if I'm making sense. Same way when you watch Whiplash, his father was a drummer, so he's in love with the whole thing. He wants to get into music. So I think what precedes obsession, or what precedes whatever, is love. You have to first fall in love with the whole thing. You have to fall in love with life. You have to fall in love with what you are doing. If you're a trader, for instance, you have to fall in love with trading. That way, you are not just hustling for the next thing. And if you are not involved in anything, you have to fall in love with life. Like, you have to fall in love with wanting more from life. I think this is an important topic because I think here in Nigeria, they try their best to tell you to place things safe. Maybe you love a car, for instance, and you want to get a car. There are instances where people will tell you that, oh, this car, the resale value is bad. So they speak fear into what you have going. Like, don't do this thing because the resale value is bad. Don't buy that car. But that's the car you love. So in a case where you don't have much money and that's just enough for the car, that way now you're skeptical. But on the side, I think those things they alter your brain. The more you do things you love, if you buy a car you love, you are more in tune with it. You'll be motivated to take care of the car. You'll be motivated to fix the car. You don't want anything to harm the car. You want the car to be as perfect as possible. That's love for me. If you're in love with a person, maybe you want to get married here in Nigeria now. You were given the opportunity to choose between two partners. I think this is something that happens here well, where they tell you that, oh, this person is good for you. You should go for this person. I don't know if people are familiar with that kind of reality. I've seen it. I've read stuff like that in books. I've seen stuff like that in real life where people are giving advices to the other person and they are trying their best to tell the person to play safe. I understand the part of safety in this journey. Matter of fact, if you are coming from nothing, I kind of relate that you want to try your best to play it as safe as possible. But why these topics are like dear to me is in the sense that I've seen people escape poverty, at least to a very good extent, and they still have that crab mentality where they want to play things as safe as possible. They see a career that they like, they still can't go for it because they are scared that they will lose money or they are scared that things will. Then why are you alive? It's more like you're alive. And when people like that, they come across, they ask you questions like, oh, what are we doing? What are we doing on earth? We are here to love, here to cater for the things that we love. Sometimes it's the experience. If you fall in love with a woman and you go through the whole love thing, even if it doesn't work. For instance, when in this on slashshare.net, they give us an instance potential deception later in the relationship. It's understandable that you could fall in love and the person wants to get deceptive, or you want to get deceptive later in life, which I don't even believe you should get deceptive. If you ever believe you are falling out of love, you should communicate with your partner. As much as I believe that you could fall back in love. We live in a country where they speak fears into whatever you have going. They want you to dial it down. I remember when I wanted to purchase a car at the time. So I was choosing between an Avalon and a C300. And I remember that I spoke to a friend and was like, oh, I'm on AOG. These cars do not have resale value. And I'm like, that's not even what we are talking about. It's like, I should not buy it, I should go for a Camry. And the only point that is being cited is that, oh, this thing, resale value. Just my own safety, not about my love for the cars. Or when you want to do something, when you're with a partner and you tell people that you love them, people are like, oh, this person, they're not good for you. But that's the person I love. Sometimes it might be stupid. I'm not saying this from a point of naivety. I know that sometimes love is not an excuse. You could want to chase a passion in Nigeria, and all of us can clearly see that, oh, this path that you're following is doomed to failure. So I advise, oh, you could do something else. What you love, you do it on the side. For instance, now, when I started clothing, I think I was still in school, so I was still furthering my studies. Right now, I still trade, I still do whatever just to get by. But I know that, oh, I love clothing, I love to be in the clothing line. Do you understand that kind of thing? You loving something is just you knowing that, oh, I love this thing, so I love to do it. I do YouTube because I love it. On the side, I still have to do other things to get by because it's not paying me yet. Do you understand that kind of thing? I just believe that love is like a very, very important topic where we are right now. In Nigeria, for instance, you have people, they are self-sufficient enough. They don't have reasons for fear. And they don't do anything. They let fear creep up onto them. It's like, oh, if I do this, what if it fails? What if it fly? I hope that with this viewpoint of mine, while I was watching my video initially, it just like crept up on me. It has been on my mind all day. It's like, oh, I love this thing. Why am I not doing my best with it? And that's what love should be. And the beauty of it is when you're doing stuff that you love, because you are doing it to the best. For instance, now you can't tell me that Ashake doesn't love music. You can't tell me that Whiskey doesn't love music. You can't say Meek Mill doesn't love music. Look at Drake. That's love. Now, if we step aside away from music, look at YouTube, for instance. You have people like Iman Gadzi, you have Mr. Beast, even TJR. It's a trader, they do other things, but they also like love these things. I think they love it because it grows their business. They love it. You could be doing it for multiple purposes, but also the love for the game is like it makes you committed to it. That way, you don't have to think too much. Look at Kotti. I think it comes from the love for video editing. So now let me put my videos out, let people see my videos. And it makes a lot of sense. When you love something, you want to do it to the best that it can be done. I think Elon Musk loves science. It's glaring. Do you understand that kind of thing? I love to state instances where you meet people and you're like, oh, this person loves what they are doing. They don't do it just for money. Now, the downside is that when you're doing things you don't love, because I like to believe that in Nigeria, because we come from a fairly uncertain path, a lot of people, the first way you attack life is for if you're like me, the first way you attack life is not even from the point of love, it's hate. You start hating mediocrity. You don't want to be associated with mediocrity at all. So because you hate mediocrity, you try your best to elevate above it, and you try your best to stay afloat where you are not in that setting. But I can assure you, it makes you now still, it keeps you in hermit mode, in crab mode, where you're trying your best to secure everything. You're trying to play it as safe as possible because you don't want to go back to where you're coming from. And I kind of understand that. So I can tell you for a fact that, at some point when you start like getting above that level, you should create certain securities for yourself. If you think housing is a problem for you, and you're opportuned, because these things, they boil down to opportunity. I understand the love people that say they can't do things that they love right now, because we live in a very, very bad country. When you go to places like Jos, Ashika made a video for Octa FX where they went to Jos, and deep in the slums of Jos, they didn't have water. Now, someone from that place, you can understand their struggles, that when they are doing things. Me, fairly, I've met a lot of people that have suffered more than me. So I have like a fair suffer story myself. But I met people that suffered, like deep suffering. They were deep in the trenches. They didn't know what to eat in the morning. They didn't even know what to eat throughout that day. They didn't have a place to really sleep. Some of them were sleeping in completed buildings. Now, these people, it's normal that when they start, for them to even get any footing in life, you can't tell them to chase what they love. I understand that part. Where, before you start chasing what you love, you have to first, let me guide this, let me guide that. Funny enough, some of them are even now see opportunity to still be able to face what they love. And even in the midst of that scenario, while they are trying to survive, some of them fall in love with books. You see them, they struggle to come to school. They struggle to make something of themselves. You see them, maybe some of them fall in love with arts. You see them drawing in the middle of that wreck, that slum, whatever their situation is. You see them doing something. Look at Tunde Onukoya with Chess and Slums. When he said this story, look at where it comes from. Look at Osimhen. I read Osimhen's story. That's something. But the love for football. So it makes you still do it. But on the side, you're trying to survive, but you're still doing it. That, I love this thing, so let me do it. I don't know what. And the reason why the thing we love is that, aside the whole survival aspect, if it ever works for you, for instance, the way I make YouTube videos, because I do them out of love. If it ever works for me, I want to better my videos. I want them to be as perfect as possible. I make clothes. So, look at the clothes. If it works beyond this level, our clothes are going to be far, far fabulous. And the way I talk about clothes to people, you can tell that I love the clothes. I want people to wear the clothes. I love the clothes so much. I want everybody in Nigeria to wear the clothes. That's how badly I love the clothes. And I want them to be as perfect as possible. I want them to reach as much people as possible. I want the Hustle Matter to spread as much as possible. That's how much I love the Hustle Matter. People knowing the meaning of the Hustle Matter. How much I love myself. I look in the mirror, I go to the gym, I read as much books as possible. I try my best to meet as many people as possible. I try my best to do as best as possible for myself. And I put myself in people's shoes where I was in a mix of a situation a while back where I'd fallen out of love for the person actually. And I try my best to stay in the relationship. Like, oh, because this person is like good for me. This person has a good look, and their character is like fairly nice. But I felt hurt at some period, and we didn't like get an understanding, and I'd fallen out of love, and I decided to stay in the relationship like that. And I was miserable for the rest of the relationship. I had to like clock it that, oh, I have to get myself out of this thing. Oh, I'm sorry, I don't think we can do this thing. And I've seen people live their whole lives like that. Part of why I'm making this video is because I had someone still complaining to me this morning. Oh, he's going to work. He doesn't want to go to that work again. This is someone that I know is self-sufficient enough. You have other stuff that actually give you joy. I know. Why are you not doing those things? You understand? Like, you could be a video editor. I would make sense of it if you do those things and you are still doing your work. It doesn't make sense when you have like a bit of sufficiency and you are suffering. We live in a country that is even more useless. If you are working in Nigeria, there's a high chance that your money goes in. Most of these people, you still see them, they still need loans at the end of the month. Isn't it better to not work at all and just know that you are chasing what you are chasing than to not be able to even get the take home from that thing? It's a conversion that doesn't even make sense in my head, and I don't know how people can say it. And it's more painful. What's more painful is that you are doing what you don't even really love, and you are sacrificing a lot for it. You end up paying more in that regard. If you have a bit of stability, I have people that traveled, they wanted to do stuff in Nigeria and they just traveled, they didn't try their hands out on anything. And the mind is like, I understand fear. I try my best to not let fear. I think fear should. Now we have the next topic. Tomorrow we are talking about fear. I try my best to not let fear creep into my plans. Because abundance mindset. I understand that you could be scared. But I say this from my perspective. I just feel like if you really love something and you think it's lucrative enough, I want you to chase it. I don't want to talk too much. I want to keep it as short as possible. And I want people to see it. I hope with this few points of mine, this is my own debate. I hope with this few points of mine, I've been able to convince and not confuse you why you should do stuff that you love. Part of why I even want you to do stuff that you love. I'm happy that you do stuff that you love. You motivate me. You ginger me. Yeah. Actually, when you are doing things that you love, you motivate all of us. All of us are happy that you are doing those things. We want you to do those things. Then the fact that you do things and you want to do them perfectly. I know someone that edits videos that is stuck in a company. It's perfect with the videos. I understand that money in Nigeria. So yeah, there's that part. If you are doing your videos and you are juggling with a job, that's lovely. Not you doing a job and not even doing what you really really love again at all. You could, whilst having a job, you could apply. It's tough. I know it's really really tough. I have like a very tough life right now. The only thing that keeps me going is hope of better tomorrow. I do things that I love. I have the luxury actually. I know a lot of people do not have the luxury that I have, and I kind of understand that bit of luxury. But at the same time, it has just bought me time, and the time it buys me is what I use in doing all these things. And sometimes some of these things that I love. Look at my clothes. I like a bit of a downtime. My clothes were like one of the major reasons why I was able to uphold. So when you do things that you love, sometimes these things they do things to you back. I say these things from my own perspective. I know it could be tricky where your life is a lot harder, but I want us to have a community. I want Nigeria. I want this country. I want more people to do things that they love. I don't want people to speak fears into your plan and you allow it fuck you up. I want you to do what you love. Chase. I want you to chase. Have skin in the game. If you are a creative, be about it. You could do a job while still being a creative. Some people, I know boys that are creatives on the weekends and they have a job. Funny enough, I think spending the time what you are doing can sustain the life that you are living. You have to have something else you are doing. You use that one to keep up. But at the same time, you still do the things that you love. Au revoir. Thank you for joining me.